Alright, so just finished up with my last recording, which was showing off these babies. Yeah, I'll do a video for them eventually. Gotta get through the rest of the double stuff first. So I did this last year. And last year, when I kind of encapsulated a lot of my thoughts of Metrocon 2010 into like one video and just like kind of told stories here, something really cool happened. And I'm sure I look completely dead right now, like I got caught in the zombie apocalypse or something. I'm believe it or not, I just don't want to. I don't. I'm gonna hit that bed behind me, or like a brick. Like, you know, I don't want to. I don't want to forget all this. I don't want to leave anything out. Which, even if I do, I'll re-record it tomorrow. But I want to make sure. Sure. Yeah, this Metrocon, I've probably had more fun at this one than I have ever. This one was really cool. And a lot of it because, well, for starters, I made it to a lot of events that I haven't made it to before. For everyone, I keep trying to get the fire show. I have it this year. Whose Line Is It Anime, which they do every year. I have it this year as their first year on the main event stage. So happy that I could get that, and I'll be including that in the documentary this year. Let's see what else is going on. I'm still riding a little bit of a high because the last panel of the convention, or that is, as of this recording, the panel today for the voice actors, something happened that I have been waiting to happen for a little while now, in a couple of years. Just one of those things where the fanboy in me went, ee, ee. No. It's late, I'm tired. Never mind what I'm doing or what noises I'm making at this point. You'll see it though. It'll probably be one of the last videos to go up since it was the Sunday panel. Nice thing they did this year. No VIP panels only. Which, it's great having a VIP panel because it's a nice perk for your, for your extra money. But at the same time, it's a very small room, which means it's very quiet. The guests don't get as big of a reaction to things, and the questions aren't as lively or random. The VIPs usually have far more serious questions, as opposed to this year, where we had a Banana King. Yeah, I can't really explain that one. You'll just have to wait for the panel videos to come up. He'll be there. Let's just say I've heard way too many banana jokes this weekend. The solution this year was VIP section. The first 2 rows were VIP, which is awesome for me, and that's something I wouldn't mind for every guest panel, especially me with the camera trying to get documentary footage. Because normally my best friend Danielle, she's my cohort for this. Normally she plays my assistant. She'll grab a seat for me early on and hold him, sit through whatever previous panel there was, at least the last half hour of it. So to make sure I've got a really good seat. So to take that off of her, with having that VIP exclusive line there, awesome. So that part was cool. That was a nice solution. Let's see what else. Let me just get into like general things here. That was me going off on a tangent. That's not even on this little list that I have set here, just to make sure I've got everything down here. First and foremost, thank you everyone that came up to me this year. I am horrible with names. I'm sorry if I don't remember your names, but each and every one of you made this trip very special for me, and each one, all 18 of you, yes, I kept count, 18 different recognitions, because everyone was important to me. Everyone it was just a little bit cooler every time. It also included 3 photo ops, which was very cool, and 1 glomp. I got a fangirl glomp. Now it's like it it was a one. It was like the first moment in my life where I went, "This is what Scott McNeil feels like," because it was just like it was warm and fuzzy, and it was just like it was random and loving, and I didn't get her name. I wish I had. If you're watching, you made my day. that was something. It was just it was very cool. I mean, considering last year when I had a couple people come up, those were awesome as well. Even at BotCon, not this many came up. It was weird. Like I'm imagining what's going to be like next year when, by my rate of growth I'll have more than 10,000 subscribers. Who knows? I might be popular enough to, be invited. I would love to not have to pay to be there. Wishful thinking, but you never know. Well, moving on. And, God, one of the coolest ones, like I said, I got the Whose Line Is An Anime panel, which was a Saturday night thing. Great time. Very funny guys. Like, every year I think I'm going to do the audition thing on Friday, and I never get around to it because there's always an autograph line or a panel happening at the same time. As I was getting up to leave for that event, someone over to my right, like, all weekend I was wearing Kamen Rider belts. I was trying to draw out Kamen Rider fans, and it worked to an extent. Found one that's one town over from here, which was really weird. And if you're watching this, you were supposed to message me so we could keep in touch, because I'm terrible with names, and that includes your online name. Sorry. But anyway, let's see, where was I? I was wearing the O's driver, because like I wanted to show off, and thank you to who was cosplaying as Gold from Pokemon Gold and Silver, who let me show off the O's driver's function and all the medals, because I brought all the medals with me too, just in case that happened. Yeah, I got your PM too. I'll probably respond to it by now. But it was still very cool. And as I was leaving with the O's driver on, I hear to my right someone shout, "I thought you didn't have the O's driver," which immediately tells me, hey, someone over to my right has seen my Kamen Rider videos. I look over to my right. It's one of the performers, which I thought was hysterical. I don't know. I mean, it becomes very cool when I find people at Metrocon who are that involved with Metrocon who know what the hell I do on, with this camera on this YouTube channel. Which brings me to someone else who recognized me. And I'm sorry, name's bad. I was told what her name was. If I get it wrong, it's not my fault. Someone else told me. There's a woman who works talent relations, the only one who can wrangle Scott McNeil in. I want to know what superpowers, and I want to know what planet she came from that gives her the abilities to do that. Mary, I hope that's the right name. If you're bad with names, I am so sorry. If you're watching, because it's Metrocon in the title, I know you'll probably be watching. Very vigilant in her attempts to keep an eye on feedback from the convention. Here's feedback for you. She remembers me every year, and every year I am shocked that she remembers me. I'm shocked when anyone from Metrocon staff remembers me. But this leads into something that happened last year, as I mentioned at the opening of this video. I always hope that what I do with all this Metrocon footage reaches the higher-ups, reaches the people that are staff and are like in control. I hope that what I do for Metrocon helps it out. It expands its audience. It brings in more people. It helps prepare people who are going to it for the first time. And just in general is something that really truly benefits the convention. That's the goal, that's the hope, and I truly hope that the guys in charge and the owners and all that, I hope that they realize, that I love Metrocon. I absolutely love this convention, and it's weeks and weeks of work sorting through, 40, 50 gigabytes of footage to make sure I've got everything I need, what I'm going to use, how I'm going to arrange it, etc. But I found out today that the one video that I've done that definitely has changed Metrocon was the one where I was ranting and complaining. Last year, there was this huge mess with how they scheduled the autographs and the guest panels, because you would have the guest panels on the far end of the convention hall, and you'd sit there for an hour, you'd enjoy your favorite voice actor, Scott McNeil or something, okay, and as soon as the panel was over, you'd get up and you'd start running, because the autographs are done in the vendor's room, the dealer room, and it's at the absolute opposite end of the convention hall. So you are running down the L-shaped hallway, all the way this way, all the way this way. You are trying to avoid everyone in cosplay with sharp, pointy objects. Now, you get through there, and keep in mind, you are racing against 30, 40, 50, 60 other people who are just in the same panel room as you, into the dealer room, which is 10 times as crowded as the hallway, and the dealers have real metal sharp pointy things now running through, scared for your life, scared for the people around you. You finally get up to the autograph line, and it's already 100 people deep, because the autograph line, the autographs for the guests were scheduled immediately after their panels. And I could not figure out for the life of me why no one saw a problem in this. Because the people who want the autographs the most are going to go to the panel. Obviously. This year, autograph sessions happened before any panels. And thank you for doing that. That made it so much easier. That was brilliant. Thank you for that. The autograph system this year worked in general, because they had set it up, before it was kind of, well, everyone's got their own individual line in this corner of the vendor's room, and Scott McNeil's against the wall because his line is going to go a mile in that direction. And it's going to line up all the way through the dealer's room and block all the fire exits, which means if everything catches fire, and this is the dealer's room, so who knows what someone's selling, Scott McNeil would have killed everybody. Not really, but, indirectly. Anyway, this year, to kind of minimize the space a little bit and to kind of condense everything down a little, it was kind of set up like Disney World. Because you had this curtain, this like railing and a curtain, giving you this little rat maze to go through and wait in line, kind of scrunch everybody together. And all the tables were in order. So you had Scott there at the first line, and then you move down the line, you see Brad Swale, then Kara and Kyle, and you go to each one in turn, get the autographs, say your hellos. This also had the benefit of preventing another problem I had last year, which was the fact that somebody outside of the line was taking up all of my time with Scott, which was a VIP autograph line, so I paid more to be in that line and really got screwed over by that. People were pissed off at me, not the girl outside the line, because I was the one whose turn it was. It was not comfortable. And it was extraordinarily rude of the girl. If the girl is watching, it was extraordinarily rude of you. You do not get an apology. I'm sorry. I'm just still a little peeved over that. Because that's why, in 2009, I posted just the Scott McNeil autograph session, because, that's the first one that I like to show off. I didn't get to do that last year because last year's was ruined, because half of the video is this girl outside the line chatting with Scott. This year I will be posting Scott's autograph session because I've done something a little bit different this year, just to give it a little bit of a different feel. You'll see. It'll be the first Metrocon video I post. Besides this one. But the only problem was, like, the VIP, like, let me get to this first. The autograph sessions were far better handled this year. You had a lot more time. Last year, you had all of 3 hours to get in autographs through the entire weekend. This year was 8. Brilliant. And even then, the lines were still jam-packed on the final day, to the point where guests were late to the final panel. Which is going to bring me to another point that I will make in a little bit. But there's no VIP line this year. You know, it would have been nice, like, because you had one table on the far right that wasn't getting used, which means there was plenty of. You could have put, like, a secondary line for VIPs and just let them go in turns. VIP, weekend pass. VIP, weekend pass. VIP, weekend pass. Because I wouldn't want to do that, like, okay, all the VIPs get to go, and as soon as they drain out, then the weekend passes get to go. No, because the people with the weekend passes would have been waiting an hour and a half. I had to do that this year. Anyone who is willing to do that and sit there and give up an hour and a half of the convention just to see their favorite voice actor up close and personal, they deserve to get in just as fast as the VIPs. But the VIPs, paying more, it would be nice not to have to wait around quite so long. So that way you kind of supplement the original benefit of the VIP and not screw over everybody else. That's just my take on it. Still, dramatically improved autographing this year. You'll excuse me as I'm flipping through Windows on the computer. Developing Scott's ADD. It's the hair. Let's see what else. The dealer room in general for VIPs, that's probably the one complaint I would probably have with this year's convention is, now, this is beyond their control in a sense, but it's also something that could have been planned out a little bit better. The VIPs are supposed to get the first hour in the dealer's room all to themselves, which is brilliant. You know, because with so fewer people in there, you get first dibs on everything, and you actually have the time to go around and look at everything before you decide to make a purchase, which is great for guys like me that usually come with a very limited budget. I actually didn't come with a very limited budget this year. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a money snag. Lost most of my. That's beside the point. I'm going off on tangents. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Apparently, from the story I heard, they didn't get the keys to the room in time, so a lot of the dealers could not set up fast enough. The result was that they were 40 minutes late opening the doors to VIPs. In 20 minutes, even running at full blast, not even stopping to really closely look at stuff, you can just barely get through the entire dealer's room. Just to give a precursory glance to all the tables. There's no way you can actually take advantage of that time to make your first purchases. Because that's like one of my con rules. Look at everything first, then go back and buy something. Because I blew $25 one year making that mistake. So I try to warn everyone against doing it. But there was no compensation. You know, VIPs were supposed to get in at 11. We got in at 11:40, and then the weekend pass crowd still got to come in at 12. Well, let's compare this to the final panel of Sunday, today. The guests were between 20 and 40 minutes late, respectively. Guess who was late by 40 minutes? Because he will not tell. Because he will give autographs to anybody. Now, being 45 minutes late and not wanting to do 15-minute panel, they extended the panel. They went as far as they could all the way up until the closing ceremonies were supposed to start. You know, they literally shuffled them out as soon as they had to be on stage. That was the final event. They had the VIP seating too. Of the entire day, and they made, and when there was something, when something was 40 minutes late, they made up the time for it on the back end. They don't do that on the dealer room. I understand if a circumstance comes up that can't be avoided, but you can compensate for that. You know, if you hold off the other crowd for another 15 minutes or so, or another 20 minutes, you know, there's still a satisfying amount of time to get through the dealer room and get back through to get your first purchases. You know, but, you know, that's my only nitpick this year. Everything else I thought was handled really well. I mean, there was a lot of events, like the chess match on Sunday started on time, and, you know, there weren't as many audio glitches as there are normally. Little bit. Metrocon gets better at handling themselves. So there's a few kinks to work out, and then I think they've got it. I really don't have much in the way of big stories this year. I've developed Scott McNeil radar. I pretty much know where he's going to be, you know, at certain times. So I had no trouble running into him this year, as opposed to a couple of years ago where, you know, I couldn't have found this guy with a tracking dog and a GPS. No Candid time. Last year, I don't know how I had Candid time with him, because I followed him up the stairs because the elevator was packed. It wasn't stalking. He was going everywhere I was going. I had plenty of opportunity running into him this year, so no, you know, it's fun. I've got some footage that I wouldn't normally have. It's all fun. Had a couple incidents in the elevator this year. The elevator was kind of strange, a little bit. The first one was good because I was in the elevator alone, and two girls come in. They're both Transformer fans. I can tell one's wearing a Barricade shirt from the movie. I thought the other one had a Transformers bag, but I could have been mistaken. You know, all I was thinking at the time was, good Lord, my feet hurt. And they see what I was wearing on Saturday, which was the Shotbusters shirt. You know, my Ghostbusters Hot Shot parody shirt, now on sale if you actually check the little window button thing on the front page of my YouTube channel. Cheap plug. Shameless. Yeah, the one I made for BotCon. I just wore it because it was one of my screen shirts. So I figured, well, it's wardrobe. I'll wear it one day. And one of the girls goes, "Ah!" It points right at it, and you know, I opened up my shirt so, you know, she could see the whole thing, because someone else had seen it earlier that day and laughed their ass off. So I'm thinking, hey, attention, awesome, I love attention. Like you wouldn't know. How could you do that? Was the response. I was alone in an elevator with two Armada fangirls. This is the one time I had ever, was really glad that Transformer fangirls didn't know who I was. Because if they knew what I do to the Armada series on TJTV and Plastic Addict, I would not have left that elevator alive. That was odd. One of them had a Armada Red Alert. There was nobody selling it in the dealer's room. They just had it. I don't know why. It was weird. Just pulled it out of her bag. Armada Red Alert. Wow. It was weird. What saved me? My life was saved because my wallet that Danielle happened to get me years and years ago, which I still use, is this cheap knockoff Transformer wallet with a random logo burned into it. And the random logo just happens to be Armada. So I pull out the wallet, go, look. And they back off. And now they're all happy with me. So it's a complete 180. It's like, okay, if he wears it on his shirt, no. If he keeps his money in it, yeah, alright. It was a weird encounter. Then another encounter in the elevator, which was not weird. It was the one, I can't get out. If you watched the video last year, you know the Saturday incident with Scott and the pool party, and I still feel bad for accidentally crashing that pool party. I had no idea. He invited me down. I didn't know that was, that I should be over there, not in with these people where Scott is supposed to be. So, I made the wrong assumptions. I made an ass of myself, essentially. Like, that party didn't happen this year, or rather it did, but elsewhere, away from prying eyes, which is probably for the best. It's their party. I wasn't going to record it anyway. But anyway, there's this old couple that was riding the elevator on Saturday night because all the people dressed up in weird clothes and weird hair colors got more and more interesting with the more and more booze they drank. They had these. I don't drink, so I don't know what they were drinking, but it was alcohol in little glasses, and they're going, what you should do. Like, I told them I'm doing a documentary. They're photographers themselves, so they think they can tell me what to do. You're doing a documentary, you should just watch these people in the elevator. These people in the elevator know this is where everything's happening. It's like, yeah. And one of the times, this glass goes onto my right arm. My camera is being held by my right arm at the time. This was coming off of the fire show, which I had failed 5 times previously over the course of 3 years to record for the documentary. So I had finally broken the curse, and now, some drunk a-hole on the elevator is going to destroy my camera. Luckily, well, you're watching this video, so hopefully you realize the camera's fine. I just came in finally smelling like someone who really did party at Metrocon, tired, pissed off, and smelling of gin. That's how that works. It's something I can laugh at now because nothing bad really happened. So, it is what it is. It's another story to tell. There's so much happened this year. I mean, it was a amazing year. Like I said, it's the most fun I've had at Metrocon so far. Largely thanks to everyone who came up to me. I was making rockstar jokes before. I mean, this year did my ego no favors. Like, if I hold a panel next year, I'm counting on all of you showing up. I don't know what it'd be on. I think Metrocon would probably, if Metrocon does know what I do, I think they'd like it to be on, I would like to do, Kamen Rider panel, because I want everyone to know what Kamen Rider would be like. Which reminds me, the AMV contest, kind of cool, because it's the first time I got to sit up beyond the first row at the main event hall, because I was participating in the contest. I was not aware that my entry had been disqualified. Yeah, I looked over the rules 1,000 times, and they're not very well laid out, because they've got these enormous gaps in between each rule on the page, so it's kind of hard to determine how much of it you've read so far. I was looking at all the ones that pertain to my video, as in swearing, violence level, because I was doing Kamen Rider Decade set to the Sick Puppies song War, the one you hear in the Street Fighter cartoon. There's a couple curses in it. So I did that. Thankfully I found out someone else used the song, so it wasn't a problem with the song, but they didn't air my video at all. And afterwards I went up to the one who did the judging and going, okay, what was wrong with the Kamen Rider, the Tokusatsu video that year? Subtitles. I was not aware that subtitles were against the rules. And it didn't make sense to me, at the time it didn't make sense to me because you had videos where the credit sequences were still left in, and it's still text over video, so it doesn't look like a music video, but at the same time that's natural, that's native to the footage. So I can see where, the discrepancy would be. So, it would have been nice to know so I could try to avoid it, but the video wouldn't have been the same, unfortunately. You can go over to Henshin Justice Unlimited, Google for it, go to their music video news thing. They just changed front pages, so it might be a little tricky to find. Just look for something that says music video and click on it. You'll see the video that I had entered in the contest. It's a Kamen Rider Decade video. I was trying to raise exposure for tokusatsu, for Kamen Rider, because it's something that I think a lot of anime fans would really enjoy. But my botch. I should have read better. Next year, I'm going to be entering a proper video. I'm going to be triple checking the rules that time. I was upset because the fangirl who glumped me invited me to the More Phenomenal panel. I really wanted to go to that because I was representing Kamen Rider this year, yesterday. But those happened at the exact same time as the AMV contest, so I apologize to you that I did not show up. So that was unfortunate. If I knew that the people running the panel were new Kamen Rider and that it'd be cool for me to come in with the belt and everything, that would have been nice. That probably would have swayed me. Or if I knew that I got DQ'd. I don't think I would have gone if I knew I got DQ'd. So that's that. Oh well. Yeah, that's pretty much it for story time. That's pretty much everything that happened this year. Did want to show off what I picked up this year at the convention hall. That is Lena Inverse. A little plushie of her. She is from a anime called Slayers. Still my favorite anime of all time. It's like D&D to the umpteenth scale. It is epic. It is awesome. It's free to watch on YouTube. Search for it. Slayers. Very easy to find. Very awesome show. Keeping the plushie. keeping with the plushies. Moogle. And this is a classic Moogle, not an update, not a rehashed. He's even got that little scowl thing that he had in the Final Fantasy VI artwork. So I'll buy anything labeled Final Fantasy VI. It wasn't labeled Final Fantasy VI, but he looks of it. Speaking of Final Fantasy, it's kind of Final Fantasy year. There was one guy that wanted, there's only one guy that really had a good Transformer set that I want, which was Sharp Edge and Hardhead, whatever his name was. It's the sword. It's the Dinobot, and it's the Beast Wars it's the Beast Wars Neo, Dinobot and Cyber Shark remolds. The swordfish and the hammer, like flathead, bonehead dinosaur that I don't know the name of. The one with the, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You want $85 for it on the tag, $60 for it marked down. Those things go for $40 all day, every day on eBay and Big Bad Toy Store. God, it made no sense to me. So lacking Kamen Rider and Transformers, is all Final Fantasy this year, mostly. This is one other thing I want to go. There is the Sierra, High Wind 2, the airship from Final Fantasy Advent Children. That's going with my little Bahamut Sin to create this little diorama on top of my TV. Now you would think this would be my big purchase because this thing is freaking huge. Then you don't know my taste in Final Fantasies. As I just said, I will buy anything with 6 on it. Tara, or Tina Branford, the main character of Final Fantasy VI. This goes with my Kefka figurine that I've had for years now. If only her hair was green! I don't like blonde Terra. She wasn't blonde in the game. I don't care what you drew her as. Well. It's Final Fantasy VI, which gets one piece of merchandise every 2 years. So I'll gladly take it. They had the little ones too, but they're all blind boxed, and I hate blind boxed at conventions. I think they'd sell better if you open them up and take away the gamble, honestly. I would have gotten that one too if I knew it, because it would actually be in scale with a Kefka figure that I'm pointing up to right there that you can't see because it's completely off frame, and I'm rambling again. Let's move on. The last thing I picked up, because, my funds got tapped unexpectedly. These might be a little hard to identify for some. These are the original 8 badges from Pokemon, the Kanto League badges. You can see the Earth badge right there and the Thunder badge in very good detail right there. Now, I bought these for like $15 at the show. Great deal, I thought, because when I used to collect Pokemon stuff, when Hasbro was first doing it, they did different sets for gym leaders, and they had the badges with the gym leaders. But they canceled that series of figures. So I think they only got like 4 of the 8 badges out, and it really, really upset me, because I wanted a full set of badges. So I found these, and it's a little vindication from my childhood, but I got them back up to my hotel room, took a closer look. These aren't painted. It's not a tampo. It's not a sticker on a pen. That is a plastic frame with little wedges of plastic forming the colors and the pattern. And those are not lines on the... those aren't lines that are drawn in. Those are the natural separations in the plastic forming the lines. It is really high quality stuff. They look really, really good. Like, this is how they would look if the game was real. It is awesomely epic and epically awesome. They're incredibly cool. Unfortunately, they had the Johto badges as well. Unfortunately, I had hit the point where it was either, okay, you can buy another set of badges, or you could actually get the car out of the parking garage at the end of the day. Like, oh, okay, we've hit that point. One thing I've learned about Metrocon is you will always run a few dollars short on the last day. No matter what, you will find something that you want, and you're only like $4 shy of. So, that's a little bit frustrating when that happens, but it always happens, so learn to expect it. So, I'll go online to get them. They sell them online too. So, they're, I don't know, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those knee-jerk, oh my god, that's everything I ever wanted. Mine. So, okay, that's end of story time, because I'm sure this video is way too long. I'm sure this video is way too long by now. I need to get to bed. I don't know when the Metrocon videos are actually going to go up this year. I've got a really busy plate as it is. I will endeavor to get the Scott McNeil autograph session up first. That's an easy one to do. I might get his panel up before I start doing the documentary too. Because the documentary is going to be a little bit different this year, because I didn't get to record much on Sunday. I recorded the entire chess match and most of the last panel. I had to turn it off to save battery. Good thing I did too. I only had like 5 seconds left when it wrapped up. So that was that. Also, since I had so many people coming up to me telling me that my videos and my documentary videos were what really got them prepared for Metrocon, for their first time at the convention, I'm going to make this one a little bit more educational, or I'm going to do a 4th video with exclusive footage that isn't in the panels or the in the documentaries or the panel posts, that will be like an education thing. Your essential guide to surviving Metrocon. Like the top 10 rules you need to know in order to have a good time and make sure everyone else has a good time. So we're going to be a little bit educational here, So that is it. I'm going to bed. Good night, YouTube. And Metrocon, I will see you next year.